The historic Boiling Springs in Washington City have come bubbling up again. Discovered by early pioneers, the natural warm springs were once used as a main source of water for irrigation and even as a swimming hole. Now surrounded by growth and even a highway, the question of what to do with the city-owned property has become a contentious issue.
And so we've been working with the city for 2.5 years, and this is the next opportunity to kind of discuss some of the points of how we move forward.
A nonprofit organization has a plan to preserve the natural warm spring site, which until recently was fenced off by the city. The group Boiling Springs Ecoseum and Desert Preserve has a plan to make the site educational and a destination for generations to come.
I believe that what this group and what our group is proposing to put there actually adds to our community and will keep the boilers clean and will keep it ready and available for generations in the future.
The group is asking the city for a 99-year lease for future development. Funding would come from federal grants as well as private donations.
If we come in successfully and drop $50 million on a building, you do the math. That's about, just for the supplies, is $750,000.
The partnership is the city will partner up on the property, they will fundraise the buildings and the facility, and basically any revenues generated then goes to that entity.
But longtime city residents are leery about a public-private partnership, and especially one that might involve the federal government.
First off, how in debt the taxpayer is going in this joint venture, and second off, how much water is going to be used on this site, and how much water still flows off this site.
Kind of reminds me of Chevrolet and Obama. I think if the city doesn't want to develop a park on this property, what they should do is sell the property to this organization and let them put their money into it and reap the profits or non-profits, whatever it be.
To its gone back in the days, yeah. It did cost money, but look at it today. Look what this could do, not only for the people, but for the city and for whatever. I am in full agreement with this.
City council members also varied with their thoughts on how to move forward with a proposal that has been before them for 2.5 years.
You know, I think that water will be encroached eventually. You know, with the great big thing sitting there, I can't imagine it won't be.
I don't want us to be fearmongers and shoot ourselves in the foot and say, well, somebody else can do it some other place. So my view is I would like to see us continue to work forward on the development agreement, iron out all the issues so everybody's comfortable with it. As far as the city property, obviously it's property, we would be tying up to that, but we do have the option to sell it.
From what I've seen from the interaction that I've had with this group, I think they could provide a stewardship over this area that is probably long due.
In Washington City, Melissa Anderson, KCSG, St. George News.